Like seriously, did anyone see that coming? Jujutsu Kaisen has been blowing up for years now, and we all had these crazy high hopes for how it would wrap up. But man, that finale's got everyone buzzing, and not always in a good way. So today we're gonna break it down and figure out if this is really the ending our boy Gege meant to give us. Is this what JJK deserves after all the hype? Let's get into it and see what's what. Okay, so let's rewind and recap that final chapter real quick. We've got Yuji and the squad out here dealing with some creepy curse user stalker. Like what? After all that epic Sukuna action, we're ending on this. And then Yuji just yeets Sukuna's last finger back where the whole story started. I mean, I guess it's poetic or whatever, but it feels kinda meh. And don't even get me started on all the big plot stuff that just got left hanging. It's like Gege was like, nah, we're done here, and just dipped. Speaking of stuff left hanging, let's talk about all those loose ends, because there are a ton. What even happened with Kenjaku's master plan? Dude was scheming for centuries, and we don't get to see how it all shakes out. And the culling games, that was a whole thing, and it just ended off screen. Come on, man. And Yuji's parents, that whole mystery, guess we'll never know. It's like we got served this epic meal, but someone snatched away our plate before we could finish. Not cool, Gege. Not cool at all. All right, let's talk about that whiplash we all got from the pacing. We went from this insane, world-ending battle with Sukuna to chasing a stalker. Like what? It's like going from the season finale of your favorite show to some random filler episode. The tone just did a complete 180. Maybe Gege was trying to show us what normal life is like for jujutsu sorcerers now. But man, it felt weird. It's like ordering a spicy ramen and getting served plain oatmeal instead. Not exactly the flavor explosion we were expecting for the grand finale, you know? Now let's chat about our boys and girls. Yuji, Megumi, Nobara, and the rest of the crew. Did anyone else feel like their stories just kind of stopped? Like Megumi's whole thing with his sister, Nobara's backstory, poof, gone. And Gojo? Man, after all that build-up, his end felt super anticlimactic. It's like Gege was running a marathon but decided to take an Uber for the last mile. Our characters deserve better, you know? We've been riding with these guys for years, and it feels like we got left hanging right at the finish line. Let's get a bit deep for a sec and talk themes. JJK always had these big ideas about curses, the nature of power, and the price of being a jujutsu sorcerer. But did the ending really wrap all that up? I mean, Yuji's whole deal with carrying Sukuna, that was resolved, I guess. But what about all the other stuff? The corruption in jujutsu society, the cycle of curses? It feels like we only got half the answers we were looking for. It's like Gege started painting this epic mural but then was like, I'll just leave the rest blank. Kinda disappointing, right? Now I know we're not the first fans to feel let down by an ending. Remember the uproar over Bleach? Or how divided everyone was over Naruto? Even My Hero Academia caught some heat. But at least those endings felt like, well, endings. They tried to wrap things up, even if not everyone liked how they did it. JJK's ending feels more like it just stopped. It's like Gege looked at those other endings and went, hold my beer, I'll show you controversial. But maybe that's not fair. What do you guys think? How does JJK's ending stack up against other big shonen finales? So, let's talk about what you guys have been saying, cause man, Twitter has been wild. Some of you are defending the ending, saying it's deep or whatever. But let's be real, most fans are not happy. I've seen everything from worst ending ever to people swearing off manga altogether. Bit dramatic, but I get it. The disappointment is real. Some are praising the Sukuna fight but trashing everything after. Others are just confused, trying to piece together what it all means. It's like Gege dropped a puzzle, but half the pieces are missing, and we're all scrambling to make sense of it. Alright, let's put on our tinfoil hats for a sec. Is this really the end of JJK? Like, for real, for real? Cause part of me is thinking, no way Gege's leaving all this unresolved. Could we get a sequel, a spin-off? Maybe an anime original ending? It wouldn't be the first time. Remember Boruto? Or Dragon Ball Super? Sometimes these endings are just pause. But then again, do we want more if it's gonna be like this? It's like when your favorite band drops a bad album. Do you want them to make another one or just remember the good times? Now let's try to be fair and think about Gege for a sec. Creating a manga is tough and the pressure must have been insane. Maybe he was burnt out, or maybe there were behind-the-scenes issues we don't know about. Deadlines, health problems, editorial interference. Any of that could have messed with his plans. It's like when you're cramming for a test and just write whatever to finish on time. Not saying that excuses everything, but it might explain some stuff. Still, it's frustrating as a fan to be left hanging like this. Gege, my man, if you're listening, we need answers. Okay, real talk though. Even with this ending, JJK's impact is huge. This series changed the game in a lot of ways. The power system, genius. The animation in the anime, next level. JJK pushed boundaries and got a whole new generation hyped about anime and manga. It's like when a great band has a bad final album, it doesn't erase all the bangers that came before. JJK's gonna be remembered as one of the greats, even if the endings got us all scratching our heads. It's left its mark on the industry, and you can bet future shonen will be taking notes. Alright, we've broken this down from every angle, and here's my take. This ending, it's not it, Chief. JJK deserve better, we deserve better. After all the hype, all the brilliant storytelling, all the epic moments, this feels like a letdown. But hey, that's just me. Maybe in a few years we'll look back and see some 4D chess move we're missing now. Or maybe we'll still be scratching our heads. Either way, JJK's been a wild ride and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think. Did the ending do it for you? Or are you as confused as I am? Let's keep this conversation going.